What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, bringing home the bacon NFL DFS video. We're breaking down the Sunday Night Football matchup between Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers and Old Man Rodgers and the Pittsburgh Steelers. So hopefully it's shaping up to be a really good game. I think everyone wants to see a really good game out of both of these quarterbacks. We're going to break it down. So if you've never been here before, hopefully you're in for a treat. We break down Thursday Night Football, Sunday Night Football, Monday Night Football. We break down the main slate. We have NBA, we have MMA, we have NASCAR, we have PGA. We've got it all for you. So stick around. We do have chapters here down in the description. You can skip chapters if you don't want to listen to part of it. But what we're going to do is we're going to go over the Vegas odds. Then we're going to look at historical stats from 2023 through the first 7 weeks of this NFL season, stack percentages, captain percentages for showdowns. Then we're going to show you our matchup tool, which you can only find on the website, FantasyTeamAdvisors.com. Then we're going to build some lineups for you. So they're going to be tournament lineups. We're going to build some showdown lineups for you. And then at the very end, we're going to give you some of our favorite props in this game. So get into those lines before the lines change a little. So kind of looking at the Vegas odds real quick. This game opened up as a Packers 3-point favorite, 44.5 over under. It is currently still the Packers 3-point favorite with a 45.5 over under. So it's going up a little bit. We like to see that. We want to see the over under go up. We don't want to see it go down. I fully expect Josh Jacobs to be in here. He pulls that questionable tag. I think he's probably going to have that questionable tag up until the game time. But unless there's a setback during warmups, I think he should be good to go. So that being said, we are going to look at some of the stats. So you can find this article down below in the description. But here you go. 82% of the winning lineups have contained at least one quarterback since the start of the 2023 season. Now, I think both quarterbacks are in play for your lineups there. I don't know if we can build lineups and get both of them in there, but we will try to. 5% of the winning lineups have used the entire $50,000 salary, so do not feel like you need to do that. 15% of the winning lineups have had a $200 player or less. As of right now, looking through everything, I don't foresee a $200 player making a difference here unless someone gets hurt between now and kickoff, where then they have to elevate somebody and then it's a cheap player to use. 80% of the winning lineups, though, have used a $4,000 player or less in their flex. So that is definitely something we're going to look at. And then the average winning salary used has been $47,500 on draft. So FanDuel and DraftKings kind of about the same now. FanDuel did have a little bit MVP and then co-MVP or star. I think it was called star. And it was at like 1.5, 1.25, but they are now with DraftKings. The only difference is the little bit of scoring difference between the two sites, one being PPR, and then the pricing difference. So the salary constrictions are basically, we're going to go through DraftKings, but you can use them for FanDuel. It's just a little bit different. So then we get into the stack percentage. A 4-2 stack has taken it down 47% of the time in the last couple of seasons. A 3-3 stack has been 33% of the time, and a 5-1 stack has only been 20% of the time. So you don't often see a 20% stack of 5-1 taking it down. But then we go into the captain percentages. A little bit change in the past few weeks, but 35% of the time it has been a wide receiver. But then you can look at that. 30% of the time it's been a running back. So they're kind of even right now. They're getting a lot closer than we were last year. 20% of the time it's been a quarterback. So you've got a mobile quarterback. Most likely you're gonna get more mobility out of Jordan Love. Obviously, he's not 75 years old, but Aaron Rodgers can throw that ball as well. 8% of the time it's been a tight end. It is National Tight Ends Day for Sunday. Be that as it may, use that information as you will. 4% of the time it's been a defense. I don't see that happen in this one. And then 3% of the time it's been a kicker. And anytime we have a kicker, it's not fun to see, because it means it's not a very good game fantasy-wise, and I pray we do not see kickers being in that direction. Okay, so now we're going to look at the matchup tool real quick. So with this matchup tool, this is how you read it. I filtered it for this game, but these are the defenses, these are the ranks, these are the stats they've given up to the quarterback, and then these, if you play on FanDuel or DraftKings, this is how you can differentiate which site you're on. So the Packers ranked 26 in the red zone out of 32, while the Steelers ranked 22nd against quarterbacks. Both have given up 10 touchdowns, but the Steelers have intercepted it 5 times compared to 2 times with the Packers. And the Packers have given up 1 300-yard passing game, and Pittsburgh has given up 2 300-yard passing games this year. Rushing to quarterbacks, I don't foresee Aaron Rodgers doing this unless he dekes him out and goes around the end to get one. You could see it though, but you can see the Packers ranked 19th out of 32, giving up an average of 18.3 against the opposing quarterback, whereas the Steelers ranked 30 out of 32, giving up an average of 22.1. So Jordan Love could be in a great spot in this game. We move to the running backs. Pretty good in the red zone. Overall, haven't given up a ton. They've only given up 2 touchdowns. But the Steelers have given up 3 100-yard rushing games to opposing running backs and a receiving touchdown. Packers are in 4th against the running back, where the Steelers are ranked 17th. So maybe we look at the Packers. Maybe if Josh Jacobs is in there, maybe we look at Josh Jacobs. He's get a little bit more boost than maybe Jaylen Warren. But Jaylen Warren does take some passes there. So we do get a little bit of extra fantasy points on DraftKings for the passes that the running back gets. So then we look, the Packers defense, 17th in the red zone. Steelers is 7 against the wide receiver. This is a little bit of difference here. You can see that the Steelers secondary is giving up, they're ranked 30 out of 32, giving up an average of 41.1 DraftKings fantasy points, whereas the Packers are ranked 18th, giving up an average of 33. So they both give up 30 plus. It's just the Steelers are giving up 40 plus. And then tight ends, they're both bad. National Tight Ends Week, we love to see this. Packers have given 50 receptions, 375 yards, and 5 touchdowns to opposing tight ends. You can see they rank 31st and 28th, respectively, in the red zone, and then 31st and 29th, respectively, in just overall ranking. So we could look at some tight ends in this. Tucker Kraft, I absolutely love Tucker Kraft. You don't really know what the Steelers are going to do. They got Jonnu Smith, they got Freiermuth, they got one more that I can't think of at the top of on the dome right now. But we saw, like, last time the Steelers were in prime time, I was like, why isn't Freiermuth number 1? Because Jonnu's number 1 on there. And then Freiermuth went out for 111 yards or something like that. So hopefully we see it again, and hopefully we can take advantage. So now we're going to build some lineups, okay? So what we're going to do is we already see who's out, injured reserve. Everyone else, other than that, like a kicker might be questionable. I don't think I want to use a kicker, though. So we should be good to go without using the kicker, but we'll definitely take a look at it. So that being said, we are going to build some lineups. These are tournament lineups. We're going to try something. I want to look at what a Jordan Love-led captain spot could be, and see if maybe we can have him thrown it to Romeo Doubs. Now Matthew Golden is there, so it's always something to look at. I wonder if we can get both quarterbacks. So I want Aaron Rodgers probably throwing it to... I'm going to have him throwing it to Freiermuth. Now we're at 6,800 for two-way. So we got 2 Pitt, 2 Green Bay. So can we get... So average 6,800. That brings us to maybe a Matthew Golden. And then we could look... And again, 47,500. So you can leave 2,500 on the table, and you shouldn't feel guilty about that. You know, there's always Calvin Austin, who could have a game here. We saw 34 yards there, has 2 touchdowns this year. So always, you know, it seems like every other game he's in and playing, he gets it. News-wise, full participant. He has not played since week 4. He could be a sneaky option. He's at 5,800. So you could add him in there. You've left 800 on the table. You have both quarterbacks, each thrown to 2 other guys. We got the wide receivers there. I don't mind that at all. That's an interesting one for me. It's going to say account locked, which it's not. So let me pause it. If you guys have been with us, it does this every single first lineup. What I tell you, all I had to do was enter it again and it worked. It makes no sense. Okay, so that's one lineup. And that's with Jordan Love being the captain or MVP spot, depending on which website you're on. So now let's try Aaron Rodgers. I'm curious because the pricing difference isn't much. So we should be able to get both in here. Let's see. I want to put Aaron Rodgers. I want him thrown to DK. Jordan Love. I think I want Jordan Love throwing it to Dobbs or Golden. You could do. We could go down a little bit further. I mean, Heath, I don't think he's playing. Yeah, I mean, he's in there, but he's not doing anything. He's not involved. I mean, it's always an opportunity, but I just don't see that happening. It could, though. Could be wrong. Could we get Tucker Kraft? Because it is tight end week. And then let's go Jonnu. Now we're at 3,300. So, you know, you got the $4,000 player or less. You could do a Kenneth Gainwell. Didn't really do much last week. I needed 3 receptions to get $150 parlay completed, and he had 2. So he's on my list. Not a good list to be on. You got Kenneth Gainwell in there. That's probably the lowest you'd go. I mean, Caleb Johnson's not doing anything when he's in the game. It's wild. So yeah, I mean, you could get both in there if you need that. Green Bay, if you want a 3-3 or a 4-2, depending on what you're looking at. Maybe we do go Kenneth Gainwell. And then we have a running back in there. We've left 300 on the table, and I'm okay with that. I don't love it, but you've got to get a little bit different when you're building these lineups here. So then let's take a look. So if we look, here's how the wide receivers end up. Steelers are very bad against wide receiver, ranked 30 out of 32. So if we were to go with a wide receiver, do we go Dobbs? I'm curious. Dobbs is averaging 13. Let's go Dobbs. Okay, Dobbs, Love, Rodgers, Metcalf. We can't go Kraft. They would have to go down. So let's go Jonnu. Now we're at 5,200. If you want to go the 3-3 stack and you want the Green Bay pick, I mean, you could go a kicker, which I don't want. Wilson's not going to get a run in here, especially with Jacobs being back. I don't love that. You got Luke Musgrave. Is that backup tight end? Only got 5 receptions on the year, though, which is kind of wild. It's kind of wild how these tight ends are just kind of thrown to the side after about a year or two. Ben Skowronek, he's not doing anything. He's got 1 reception on the year. That's the problem. Connor Hayward's, I mean, he's had a good game here, 12 yards, 1 touchdown, but he's only got 2 receptions on the year. I don't think we can go any further down. So if you do want to go a kicker, you can. Boswell's averaging, I mean, when they're putting up points, he's still kicking. So you could always get 1 kicker in there in case that happens. So I could definitely see that. So if we do a kicker, we've used all the salary there. I don't want to go with the defenses. Freiermuth, you could go with, but then you got both tight ends for Pittsburgh, which I don't mind that because it is National Tight Ends Day. They're averaging right around the same. So we'll enter that in there. And then let's do one with DK Metcalf being the captain spot. We got DK here at the top at 14-1. I've got Aaron Rodgers throwing it to him. I want Jordan Love in my lineup as well. One other one is Darnell Washington. Like I said, they have so many tight ends. I mean, he's actually been pretty consistent. 5 targets the past couple of games. Did have a touchdown last week. Green Bay against the tight end. And you never know who they're going to be against. They're 31 out of 32. He'll be a cheaper option there. So that is kind of what you could look at. Then if we get Matt Golden in here, and now we're at 5,300. Now it'll depend. Do you want a kicker? Do you want maybe Calvin Austin? Do you want a Green Bay guy? That's where it's interesting. With the Packers being a 3-point favorite, I think hopefully they're down and Aaron Rodgers has to throw it a ton, which makes it interesting here. So we either kick it at 52, Jonnu, Freiermuth. I'm gonna go Freiermuth again. Maybe the safety blanket we needed. Love and Golden for Green Bay. So those are just some of the picks. If you want to see all of them, we have all of the picks, all of our favorite captain spots, all of our favorite flex spots in the cheat sheet, which you can find under the NFL tab and right here. So depending on when you watch this video, you can go check out the main slate breakdown. And within that main slate breakdown, we have 2 giveaways for FTA Plus. We build some lineups there, and we give you our rankings throughout the week. On top of that, we have 3 links in the description of this video: DraftKings, FanDuel, and Fanatics Sportsbooks. Get in there, sign up. If it's the first time, use our code down below or the link. Deposit a minimum of $20 and enter a lineup. Show us proof to dfshelp1@gmail.com, and we will give you 1 month free of FTA Plus for every site you sign up for. We also have a main slate DraftKings football league every single week. 3 places pay at the end of the season. The top 3 places will pay every single week, but at the end of the season, the top 3 places, first place gets a lifetime pass, second place a yearly pass, and third place a monthly pass to FTA Plus. Now I'm going to pause the video so I can log into the sportsbook and give you guys one of my favorite parlays for this Sunday Night Football matchup. Okay, so I've done a pick. We've looked at these. These guys have hit these marks, these benchmarks that we need. So what I've got right now is I've got Aaron Rodgers, 220 plus passing yards, 2 passing touchdowns. I've got Jordan Love for 2+ passing touchdowns as well. I've got Josh Jacobs running for 50. I've got Jaylen Warren running for 50. I've got Metcalf, Romeo Doubs, and Tucker Kraft, all 50+ receiving yards. And then Pat Freiermuth, 25+ receiving yards. Now, if you want to put in Jonnu Smith, you can. If you want to add in a touchdown, you can. But right as of it is now, 9-leg parlay plus 5,000. Josh Jacobs to get a touchdown would add 2,000 to it. You'd get 7,000 on that. Jaylen Warren would be 9,000, which he is capable of. Tucker Kraft would be 7,000 for tight end week. Freiermuth would be 11,000. So depend on what you want. I'm not going to add a touchdown score, but don't feel bad. I mean, you could do these top 4 and get the odds you want. I'm only going to put $5 on it, but 5 to win 255, and that's what we've got. So we hit a 9-legger last Thursday. Let's do it again. Make sure you go check out our free Discord. We give out plays there, the main slate, main core plays. We give it all. Go check out FTA Plus. It is $10 a week, $30 for a month. It's $500 for a lifetime pass, but we have 7 spots available. If you are interested, dfshelp1@gmail.com. If you email me right now, you can get it for $150 instead of $500 for a lifetime pass. That includes DFS for both FanDuel and DraftKings and sports betting for every single sport. Let's have a great day. Good luck. And as always, bring home some bacon. Peace.